Welcome to Rental Contracts 104, where we will show how to return a unit off rent, then discuss a couple of additional scenarios that might occur. If you haven't watched any of the prior videos yet, please go ahead, take a second, check them out, revisit our policies and procedures for the rental process. So when a unit is being returned, we're going to need to go into the rental counter to stop future billings, record inbound traffic, and complete our rental contract. Just a reminder of how to get there from your home screen or whatever screen you may be on. Go ahead and go to your product support, roll down to rental, and go to rental counter. So let's find our contract. You can use any of the search ones up here. Mine is this first one and I see it, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it just to edit it. All right, so before we go into our return tab, let's go ahead and take a glance at the contract details and invoice history to familiarize us with this contract once again. Be sure to take note of the date out, your rate duration, the number of line items, and the hours that the unit left with. Once you've went ahead and looked all this stuff over, please feel free to go ahead and proceed to the invoicing tab. All right, and continue on through your billing date. Okay. In order to view that invoice, simply just go ahead and take a click on it, look it over, make sure everything looks okay. Right, so when you're ready, go ahead and click over to that Return tab. Find your lines that you need to bring back. And you can do this one of two ways. Either you can come down and click Return on every single one, or if everything's back at the same time, you can go ahead and just click that Bulk Return button down there. It'll ask you for the date that it was returned. And I'm going to say this one was returned yesterday. And the options right there, usually you're going to go ahead and use your return. And the time, that would be the time that this was being completed. Hit your Save button. It'll let you know this option will apply to all applicable lines on the contract. Click Continue to proceed. There we are. It went ahead and returned everything. At this point, I usually like to go ahead and give it a save. And it's going to ask me for my return location, which will be branch 1, the location it came out of. Letting us know that our hours need to go ahead and be filled in. All right, once you hit save one more time, it'll prompt you to go ahead and complete your traffic. From here, select whether it's a lease purchase or not. Your status. Remember, you always have to save it one time whenever it's pending. Drop your pending down to your received, which will make sure that you fill in the correct fields. In this case, go ahead and select your trucker. Save it and close it. And you're done with traffic just like that. All right, so now we're looking at this and this has been returned, but we see that this one was 1 month. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom. I'm going to click my Optimize button and it actually should be 1 month. Let's go to my invoicing tab right here. Double check it. Went out 3/25. Covering till 4/21. Yep, that looks right. Remember, we're on a 28-day where 3 weeks is equal to 1 month. So no further billings are pending at this time. So since we're done, we're going to go ahead and click your either save and done or close. If you haven't done your traffic yet, so if we skipped over the traffic step, go ahead and hit that save and done button, and that one will prompt you to actually complete your traffic. Another scenario that might occur is occasionally when things are being returned, nobody notifies whoever needs to be notified that things have been returned until far after it's already happened. So let's say this one would have been returned the day after. Right, I'm going to go ahead and hit save, continue. Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and I just like to manually change this right here because I know it was just a 1 day. Hit my save button right here. Right, return it to the correct location, and again we're going to go ahead and complete our traffic. Hit my save. Yes, I'd like to copy if there were any. Received. My trucker's there. Hit my save. And I'm going to hit my close there. For more information on completing traffic, go ahead and look at our previous video series. Traffic 101 will be a great one to go ahead and take a peek at. There we are, we have it returned for 1 day. So now when I go ahead and click on my invoicing tab, we're going to notice that we have a credit. That credit, if we go ahead and let me reactivate this one real quick just so we can see the preview. There we are. Of course, it goes on to hold simply because we have it set as a cash code 2. No worries, that's fine. That's why I just went in and took it off hold, reactivated the contract so we can go ahead and actually take a look at this one. So I'm going to hit my preview button. There we are. So it's letting us know that it's taken this this day. It's going to bill out the 1 day. It's going to credit back the previous 1 month billing. Same thing for the where charge as well. Bill out 1 day, credit back 1 month. So what drives that, and this is actually essential to rental contracts, is filling in all of your overrides. Please, 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 I cannot stress this enough. Whenever one override is filled in, especially on a, let's say like a re-rent or a unit that may not have the correct rates filled in, if you fill in one, please fill in all. That way the system can properly function. That way the system can actually go ahead and make these credits properly. All right, so if this one's pending, and since this one is a cash, and I'm the customer and I'm standing in front of myself, we can go ahead and hit that print button right now. If it's an AR or an on account, you can go ahead and let that one bill overnight and it'll credit back to that customer's account automatically. Make sure that this last step happens. Make sure that we bill that out. Just that way our customer gets their money back and it doesn't sit out and hang up a sale 3 or 4 months down the line. A little bit of an opposite scenario of this would be if, let me go ahead and unreturn these. A little bit of an opposite would be if this customer returned it much, much, much later into the future. Let's say it's not today and it's next month on the 26th. I'm going to hit the return. There we are. I'm going to hit my save, continue. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and re-optimize that one. So this one's billing us now, and you're like, oh no, there's so many lines. It's okay, not too hard to read. Just go by your stock number. So these ones right here are the same. So it's billing for 2 months and 1 week, and 2 months and 1 week again. I'm going to go back to my invoicing tab here. After I do my traffic again. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so my invoicing tab here, there's my invoice date. Perfect, awesome. So I have the correct amount. So I have my original one right here, my original bill that we billed out, and my new bill saying that this is your 1 month and 1 week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit print that email right here. If I need to print it, if that customer set up for email, or if they just want it emailed. Perfect. So another option when you're returning things is, I'm actually going to go into another one here. There's a few other options that exist while you're returning, and you probably saw them in the last couple takes. You have off rent. What off rent is we have a machine that's out of the customer's yard. They're done with the machine, however, they cannot bring the machine back. In other words, we are waiting. Actually, not they can't bring it back. That would be on them. But if we are the person who is picking up and dropping it off, and we can't get a haul truck out there yet, that one would be an off rent, letting us know that it's still there. However, we have not picked it up. All right, hold. Right there, that hold unit, not to be confused with held. Hold will actually suspend the billing for a specific amount of time for a specific reason, and it will ask you how long you'd like to delay it and for what reason. For example, a quick little example would be a 24-hour weather delay. Another one is right below that, your exchange. So if you are exchanging the unit, usually that'll be if the unit was rented and the unit maybe broke down or was not sufficient to complete the task, and we need to swap it out for something bigger. And then when you're doing it, you also have your checkbox right here, your no charge checkbox. No charge checkbox will take the entire amount billed to the customer for the contract and credit it back, essentially making this contract free for the customer. Just beware of that button. Once you do it and it's returned, you cannot undo it. All right, so I appreciate it for you guys joining me today. I hope this video has explained a little bit about the return process so you can apply your knowledge to future scenarios. Please continue watching the videos in the series. I believe our next video coming up will be credits.